Heaven helps all beings. You lucky, your karma's good, so you've come across this. It's definitely not that the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas are biased. This place just happens to be ready, and those who are ready get to come first. It's the same with the origins of our tradition too. For me, ever since I first became a monk, I've had a special fondness for the Avatamsaka Sutra. The first scripture I diligently studied was the Avatamsaka Sutra in plain chant, which was offered to me by an elderly layperson. Back then, it really wasn't easy. That set of books was quite expensive, you know. It was a set brought over from the Hong Kong Buddhist Scripture Distribution Office at Kai Kai Fa Temple in Hong Kong. The original set was 40 thread-bound volumes, now reprinted for everyone. That original set of 40 thread-bound volumes has been with me for over 30 years now. I donated the original copy of this book to the Buddha Educational Foundation so they could use it as the master copy. So, the characters in this new print are very clear. It's been printed really well, but the only downside is that we didn't print it in Taiwan. Today, they've made a paperback edition, but if I were in Taiwan, I'd definitely have it printed as a deluxe edition. Not bad having a good edition. I really like the Avatamsaka Sutra, truly enjoy reading it, and sincerely hope that one day I'll have the wonderful chance to lecture on it. But, unfortunately, that opportunity just hasn't come together yet. I did lecture on it for a while in Taiwan, but it was on and off, because I was often invited overseas. Every time I went abroad to give talks, the lectures would be interrupted, and I was away quite a lot. So, because of these interruptions, I spent years lecturing on this sutra in Taipei, but only managed to get through half of it. I never expected that here the conditions would come together. It's beyond what I could have imagined. Wherever the right conditions arise, that's where we get down to work. Buddha teachings arise because of causes and conditions. If our minds are pure and impartial, then wherever in the world the right conditions come together, it's all the same to us. It's not about favoring one place over another. We practice compassion and equality without any distinction. The care and enthusiasm we show for this place, we extend exactly the same care and enthusiasm to other places where the conditions haven't yet matured. There's absolutely no more or less, not even a little bit. All of you fellow practitioners, when you study and practice, it should be the same for you in the future. You must always base yourselves on purity, equality, and true awareness. As for that Dharma method, everyone says, and it is widely acknowledged, that the teachings which can truly and effectively save this world in our present time are the Infinite Life Sutra and the Kittigarbha Sutra, both of which provide invaluable wisdom and guidance. The conditions for the Avatamsaka, Huiyang, teachings are extremely subtle and rare, but we can still study them. But Buddhism will flourish in the future. When the country prospers, Buddhism will surely, truly, and undoubtedly flourish. And when Buddhism flourishes again? We believe that there will be many opportunities then, and at that time, there must be people to teach and explain it. So here, we'll go through the Dharma I want to provide everyone with a reference and a foundation. In the future, you can build on this foundation and grow it. It most certainly benefits all sentient beings. Indeed, the World-Honored One instructed these great Bodhisattvas that we must have the courage to directly enter the path. We should also join his Dharma assembly and become a part of the great gathering. This is boundless merit. Whatever you do, don't see yourself as an outsider, as if you have nothing to do with the great assembly. If you do, you've got it all wrong. If that's the case, you won't receive any of the exceptional merit and benefits within this. Be sure and feel that I am part of the conference. As Shakyamuni Buddha blessed Bodhisattvas, he blesses me. I am a Bodhisattva. The Avatamsaka Sutra teaches that even with afflictions, diligent practice makes you a true member of the assembly. It's the same at the Kitagawa assembly. If we are truly earnest, dedicated, and sincere practitioners, even as ordinary people, we can indeed draw close to these great, compassionate Bodhisattvas and join their ranks. The Bodhisattva king of self-mastery then respectfully withdrew after the World-Honored One greeted him with joined palms. The questions that the Bodhisattva king of self-mastery asked Shakyamuni Buddha come to a close here at this point in the text. He leaves. He returns to his own seat. Let's look at the next part of the sutra. The four heavenly kings rose and respectfully greeted with joined palms. After the king of self-mastery finished his questions and returned to his seat, it prompted the four heavenly kings to step forward. The four heavenly kings form a small group of their own. They rise from their seats and respectfully join their palms to request the Dharma from the Buddha, expressing their heartfelt respect and wishes. The great Buddha is here. The four heavenly kings. In China, we commonly refer to them as the four great Vajra. For example, at the renowned Jinhua Mountain Monastery, as soon as you enter through the main gate, the imposing Hall of Heavenly Kings is the very first building you see, and inside, the four heavenly kings are solemnly and respectfully enshrined. But inside the Hall of Heavenly Kings, there is also an image of Maitreya Bodhisattva. Statue Maitreya Bodhisattva. These days, it's common to have a statue of the Laughing Buddha instead. The Laughing Buddha was actually a person from the Song dynasty, from the early Southern Song period. In the history of the Southern Song, there was also a famous national hero, Yu Fei. Almost all Chinese people know Yu Fei. Buddha monk and Yufei were contemporaries. He appeared in Fenghua, Zhejiang. This person is very strange, quite peculiar, and no one knows what his name is. Where did he come from? No one knows. He just wandered around the Fenghua area. He was a very fat man, chubby and plump, and every day he would carry a big cloth bag and go around begging for alms. No matter what people gave him, he'd just put it in his bag and walk off with it on his back. So everyone called him the cloth bag monk. Because of this, the cloth bag monk became famous. When he was about to pass away, he revealed his identity to everyone. He said himself that he was Maitreya Bodhisattva come again. After he finished speaking, he left, disappearing without a trace. He said it and left. People say he's reincarnation of Bodhisattva or Buddha, but he won't leave. Cloth bag monk left. After that, we knew he was the incarnation of Maitreya Bodhisattva. So from then on, whenever people in China made statues of Maitreya, they made them in the image of the cloth bag monk. The cloth bag monk always had a big smile on his face. He really taught us to always be joyful, to make everyone happy. That's why his image is so familiar to people. He set an example for everyone to see. But the most obvious and recognizable form, for example, is to always be happy. That's why some people call him the Happy Buddha. He showed that by having an equal heart, you naturally appear joyful. So how can you tell he had an equal heart? Whatever anyone offered him, regardless of whether it was valuable or cheap, was put into his bag. That big cloth bag of his held everything equally. He made no distinctions. His joyful appearance was his trademark. He was happy when he saw good people, and happy seeing bad people. He was glad for good things, and even when he saw bad things, he was still cheerful. He showed us this pure and truly equal attitude through his actions. This is actually recorded in the Contemplation Sutra. Once, someone ran into him on the road and asked how to practice. The old fellow put his cloth bag down on the ground and spread his arms wide. So that was his way of showing it. He didn't say a word, but people understood just by looking at him. What did it mean? Let it go. But if you don't understand how to let go, what do you do after you've let go? The old man just picked up his cloth bag, slung it over his shoulder, and walked off without a care. Letting go is the same as picking it up again. Just get on with it. I can let it go, but I can't pick it up. Letting go is releasing delusions, discrimination, and attachments. Picking up is pursuing Buddha's teachings and helping all beings. This is what Maitreya teaches. The Hall of Heavenly Kings and the 4 Heavenly Kings enshrined next to it. The 4 great Heavenly Kings are all named in the scriptures. The Eastern Heavenly King is the king who upholds the nation. He is about maintaining and protecting the country, Just like we talk about loving our country, loving our family, loving our hometown. The Eastern Heavenly King represents this meaning. Protecting the nation starts with protecting yourself. What we talk about today as self-love and self-respect, this self-love and self-respect is really about looking after yourself, protecting yourself. If you care for yourself, you can care for your family. If you care for your family, you can support society. If you support society, you can support the nation. If you can support the nation, then you can help maintain world peace. That's not what I meant. The spirit of Scythe is responsibility. Be responsible and do your duty. That's what it teaches us. If you're not responsible, if you can't fulfill your own duties, those things you're supposed to do in your role, and you're not willing to do them, how can you protect the nation? If everyone can do their part, whatever job I have, I should do it well. I should take responsibility, and I should work hard and do my best. This is the protection of the country. This is the protection of the country. And as for the prop he's holding, sound of tapping, let's talk about the prop now. He's holding a pippa. But it absolutely doesn't mean, that this heavenly king just likes singing. If you think that, you've got it wrong. The pippa represents the middle way. Chinese Confucianism teaches moderation. The pippa is a string instrument. If you look, when the strings are too loose, it won't make a sound. If they are too tight, they'll snap. You have to tune it just right, and then the tone is beautiful. This is telling us that whether it's dealing with people, matters, or things, we must follow the middle way. Do things just right, not going overboard, but not falling short either. That's what it means to follow the middle way. It's just like playing an instrument. When you tune it, the strings can't be too tight or too loose. You have to get it just right. That's what it means. In Confucianism, this is called the doctrine of the mean, while in Buddhism, it's known as the Supreme Middle Way. The Southern Heavenly King is called the King of Growth. If you look at his title, it's all about growth. What does growth mean? Progress. Our wisdom should grow. Our character should also grow. Our standard of living improved daily. Everything strives for progress. Then you see Buddhism means diligence. It seeks progress. It never regresses. Someone once told me that Buddhism needs to catch up with the times, but honestly, that's not right. It should be said that the times need to catch up with Buddhism. Buddhism leads the times. That's the correct way to see it. What about today? Buddhism lags. Meant to lead, now tail end. That's a complete reversal. Buddhism is meant to lead this era and guide our lives. If we want happiness in our lives, harmony in our families, and success in our careers, peaceful, prosperous nation, Buddhism is leading the way. If we follow the principles taught in Buddhism, we'll achieve this goal. Let's not forget at the beginning of the Qing dynasty. During the reigns of Kangxi, Yongzheng, and Qianlong, China was the world's #1 superpower. What did these emperors use? How did they teach the people? Using the Infinite Life Sutra. The emperors of the Qing dynasty were truly remarkable. They used the Infinite Life Sutra to unite people across the whole country, bringing everyone together as one. If this approach had continued on, the Qing dynasty wouldn't have fallen. Of course, there were many reasons for the fall of the dynasty, but abolishing this scripture was a major factor. So, who abolished it? Empress Dowager Cixi. When Cixi heard the Infinite Life Sutra, she realized it described her own faults. She wasn't happy after hearing it, so she abolished it and stopped reading it. This had an impact you can't deny. The Qing dynasty governed country with Buddhist teachings, which truly brought about harmony and lasting, genuine peace. This is something we need to understand, so Buddhism is about seeking progress. It's the same with Confucianism. Confucian teachings talk about if you can improve yourself in a day, do so every day and keep improving, striving for daily progress. In the 6 paramitas of Buddhism, there's the parameter of diligence. How could we possibly fall behind others? There's simply no such logic. So, the Southern Heavenly King represents calmness and emptiness, and also being proactive. That's what it means. He holds an arrow in his hand, and the arrow symbolizes wisdom. As we say in Chinese, a swift blade cuts through tangled hemp. That's what it means. It's not that he just likes to wave a sword around. No, that's not it. It symbolizes wisdom. Only with a high level of wisdom can progress be achieved. Only with a high level of wisdom can true happiness be attained, you see. Heavenly King. King Guanglu. In Sanskrit, Zayu. The Western Heavenly King is very eloquent. He can make all kinds of predictions. The prediction genius we are talking about today. Guanglu. The Northern Heavenly King is called Jiwa. These 2 Heavenly Kings represent methods and approaches. The first 2 Heavenly Kings represent the goals. Our goal is to protect the nation and have high wisdom always improve daily. So, How does the Western Heavenly King help us achieve those first two goals in terms of method? You need to observe more and keep learning. Now, let's talk a bit about sightseeing. Field study. Sightseeing and inspection, led by this Western king. He takes the lead. It tells us to observe more. All sorts of experts tell us to listen more, to look at others, and to listen to others more. From this, we can learn from others' experiences and lessons, recognize their shortcomings, take on their strengths, and use that to build our own country. Wouldn't that make us number one? As for today's technology, I've heard that WeChat is, these days, extremely popular and widely used in China. It's only just been invented overseas and isn't widespread yet, but it's already everywhere in China. Why is that? That's what the experts mean, I suppose. We have to catch up and overtake. When we learn science and technology today, we make sure to learn the most advanced stuff, not the old things. If we're going to build a plane today, we'll definitely make the best one. We take other people's products, improve on their shortcomings, and make ours even better. There's no way we'd start by building the little plane the Wright brothers invented over 100 years ago. Wouldn't that be silly? That would be foolish, wouldn't it? So, we must always build on what others have already achieved, and then improve on their shortcomings. By fixing their flaws, we make even more progress and get ahead of them. That's what it means to observe more. Broad vision means to see more. The Heavenly King is holding a dragon, or sometimes a snake, in his hand. What do the dragon and snake symbolize? They represent change. These days, technology is advancing at a rapid pace. Both dragons and snakes are known for their ability to change. This is to tell you that society is incredibly complex, constantly changing, and you need to observe it carefully. If you can grasp what remains unchanged amidst all this change, you'll achieve success. That's why one hand holds a pig. The pig shows what stays the same. So, it's about understanding the unchanging principles and rules within all the changes. The Western Heavenly King teaches us this. If you have a talent for languages and can master different tongues, you'll be able to communicate with every country and every ethnicity. This allows sharing culture, skills, technology. Only then can you truly achieve completeness. Alright, that's all for the Heavenly Kings from each direction. The Heavenly King of the Broad Vision teaches us about what's right in front of us, encouraging us to visit different places, to look around, and to keep learning. The many hearing Heavenly King from each direction refers to this. We often say, read 10,000 books and travel 10,000 miles. Traveling 10,000 miles is the horizontal aspect, while reading 10,000 books is the vertical. We need to absorb the lessons of history and take in the wisdom and experience of those who came before us. Foundation lets us grow. For great Heavenly King's teachings. We shouldn't just see them as ordinary deities. If we do, we've got it all wrong. We need to take on board the lessons and teachings of the four great Heavenly Kings. One of them holds an umbrella. What does the umbrella symbolize? Prevent contamination.